welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. Last week, the IRDAI did make a very interesting announcement, and that is with respect to the Arogya Sanjeevani. As we know, it's a standardized insurance policy, a health insurance policy with the same features and terms and conditions, which will be now available with every health insurance company, but it will be provided by every health insurance company. So what exactly has happened now as a development is that the IRDAI has allowed for this this product to be available as a group cover. So if you're a small business owner, you can just buy this Arogya Sanjeevani policy and give it out for your for all of your employees. So let's understand whether this should be a good product for a group cover and many more topics with Tarun Mathur, the Chief Business Officer for General Insurance, with policybazaar.com. Tarun, many thanks for joining us today on ET Now. First up, for all our viewers who may not be aware, if you could talk to us about this Arogya Sanjeevani policy. And the fact that it's standardized, which means the terms and conditions will be the same whichever insurance company you decided to buy it from. Do you think it's a good product for business owners who may want a simple health insurance cover? And now, of course, it's all the more important, right, because we have COVID-19. So do you think it's a good product to buy as a group cover for all your employees?
I think Arogya Sanjeevani as a concept is about uniformity. And I think this hails from the fact that a lot of the insurance that was sold, or a lot of the health insurance that is sold, is quite complex to understand. There are different covers, there are different ranges of those covers, and for a customer, it's quite difficult to at times decipher what is covered and what is not. Now, when you bring uniformity to such a complex structure, it only brings about more faith in the product, the more faith in the health insurance industry, and I think it's a fantastic move by IRDAI to make sure that this is now also available on the group chassis, because what was happening is that while retail customers were able to take advantage of the fact that they knew exactly what to expect from the product, the group side also has a lot of modularity in terms of what is available and what is not. Now with that, a small business like you mentioned yourself is able to go through and buy a policy which has a standard set of features that are understood, read, and they can be claimed very easily. So I think it's a great move. I think this is a great opportunity for small businesses to go out investing for their employees in terms of health insurance. Not to mention that the prices also will be quite affordable, and I would suggest that every small business should now look at buying the Arogya Sanjeevani once it's out in the group platform.
Okay, all right. Do you think then that I just want to look at it from a cost perspective as well for small business owners, that it would be from obviously it's going to be the business owner, right, who's going to be paying the premiums as well on behalf of his employees. Do you think that this policy would serve two purposes? One, of course, as Arogya Sanjeevani does, is provide the basic hospitalization cover for all employees, but two is also a cost-effective and a value-for-money policy cover for all employees?
Yes, you see the part that one must understand is that the group health insurance policies that have existed today, if your business pays, let's say, 10 rupees of premium this year, and the claims come out to be 12 rupees, then the next year that amount actually goes up. So with the Arogya Sanjeevani policy in place, it also helps because there are certain features meant within the policy which make sure that the claim amount doesn't exceed by too much, and yet the person who's in the hospital gets his due. So from that perspective, for small businesses who don't want their premiums to change year on year or increase beyond the level where where affordability goes out of the window, you have a product now which helps them control their costs and yet get great cover for their employees, and the employees also are able to take a claim in a more responsible way, which wasn't true for its predecessors. So I think that this would be very good for small businesses who want to give a genuine cover to their employees and at the same time keep their pockets intact.
All right. Okay, interesting. So that's essentially with respect to uh, a group cover for individuals. Remember that there's a minimum sum assured of 50,000, a maximum of 5 lakh rupees, and at present it comes with a basic health cover of a minimum sum, a maximum of 5 lakh rupees, like I already mentioned. And now, with effect from July, the IRDAI has said that it's going to allow insurers to offer the same standard policy as a group policy under Arogya Sanjeevani. And yes, according to, of course, Tarun, this could be a good policy to put into use by business owners. Okay, TPAs meantime, it looks like soon individuals will be able to follow up on their health insurance claim directly with the insurer. Remember that many a times whenever a policyholder has to file a health insurance claim, you have to contact a TPA, or what we call as a third party administrator, who in turn is an external entity, and that external entity is working with many general insurance companies to help process all of these claims. But now, and it could be quite a tedious task, especially amidst times that we are facing now with the coronavirus crisis, and obviously it's going to lead to a spike as well in claims. If this does come through, where the TPA's role is essentially removed, Tarun, what can we expect? An easier interface between the claimant or the policyholder and the insurance company, or do you think that now I'll have to depend much more on the insurance company's efficiency to process my claim, and hence all the more the kind of insurance company I'm choosing becomes very important?
So the way I look at it is the purpose of getting somebody in between the customer and the person who's going to approve the claim. Get a step in between with the intent of lowering the time to claim, then that's a paradox in itself, because what you do is reduce the number of steps. And this is what the move now kind of suggests, that you will not have somebody in the middle, or rather you will have a relay process where if you submit your documents, that entire document checking and completion is done by the TPA, but the entire claim adjudication and the education associated with the claim lies with the insurance company. See, a lot of times what we see is, because each product is very different, and like you correctly mentioned, one TPA has to handle the claims of so many insurance companies, it can get quite taxing to understand what features are covered where. So from an insurance company's perspective, they are able to explain to the customer all the details of the policy, of what is covered, what is not covered, whether consumables are present in the policy or not, what is the philosophy on, let's say, PPE kits, etc., which we've seen is a huge problem these days, given COVID is onto us. And what I think this does is it gives the complete transparency to the customer, which is very important. So I actually feel that this should reduce the time of claim, because see, when you're at the hospital, when you're getting treated, and when you don't know what's happening to your claim, there's a lot of anxiety. The last thing you need in a hospital is anxiety. And I think this is a great move. We've seen this happen in insurance companies like Star Health and Max Bupa, where they were doing this in-house already. And that was working great, because the insurance company representatives or employees know their products. They know exactly how to reach out to the customer. They know exactly what to explain to the customer. They know what they've sold. So this middleman in between also becomes a very functional one. I think it's great for TPAs also, because then their responsibility is only to make sure that all the documentation and whatever documents the claim adjudicator or the claim underwriter needs are done properly. So I think it's a fantastic move, because you have a lot more transparency, a lot more trust. And see, the insurance companies are in the business of claims. They're not in the business of selling. For them, this is their bread and butter, and they'd be able to do a far better job and be able to speak to the customer directly, and be able to take away this anxiety of customers. So I think it's a fantastic move, all in all.
Okay, it is a good move all in all. But Tarun, do you think that it will be feasible for the industry to take out TPAs immediately? I mean, I'm sure they as well will first have to get their own systems in place, to ensure that they are able to fulfill the role of the TPA in the way that the TPA would do so.
See, what I think there's the point is that they're not removing the TPAs altogether. I think the what has been tasked, the TPS has been tasked with a particular part of documentation, but the entire claims underwriting is done by the insurer. One is not saying that you need to kind of make sure that all the insurance companies have a network across. The TPS can continue to do that. And they become that single point of contact for the insurance company when it comes to all the documentation and the filing, etc., which does take a lot of time because you need all those documents available to be able to see what is there in the claim and what is not. But the insurance companies are quite ready. And I don't think it's such a large task because, like I said, the insurance companies are in the business of claims. They understand it much better. They understand risk much better. And they will then be able to kind of scale up. Of course, there will be some companies which will be better than the others. But I think it's all in all, as a concept is great. It may take time to implement. It may take 1 to 4 months to 6 months, depending on insurance company and speed. But all in all, it's a good move for the customer. And we, at the end of the day, it is the person sitting in the hospital who we need to kind of make sure is not anxious.
Okay, all right. So no TPS is definitely a good move according to Tarun Mathur. But on that note, we will wrap it up on this edition of the show. Tarun, many thanks for joining us today and, simplifying these two concepts for both of our viewers. He does give even, of course, the group policy concept for Arogya Sanjeevani a thumbs up. But yeah, we will wrap it up on this edition of this show. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Startup Central.